The nice lady said that if I told you about what happened, she would let me see Safi, my sister. Me and Safi don't like Louie. Even Frankie doesn't like Louie, and he likes everyone. I hate him, I do. I hate him loads, more than mashed potato. Louie is a naughty, evil, wicked man. A devil in disguise. That's what Nana said one day near my birthday before she left on the 57 bus. On Sundays, Nana would come round really early and wake us up. Me and Safi was ever so excited every time Sunday came. Nana used to bring breakfast, sometimes donuts, but not the yucky ones with custard in or jam that squirts on you like blood and fly guts. She would bring the round ones with a hole in the middle. Me and Safi would scoff them down, scoff them down. Sometimes, because I'm a big boy, she'd let me have two. Afterwards, she would bring out stuff out of her wheelie bag and put it in the oven. Every family deserves a good Sunday dinner, Nanny always said. Mummy and Louie would always get up really, really late, sometimes after 12 o'clock in the day. Mummy would always look tired, and sometimes she had purple stuff round her eyes. Safi used to think that was funny because it made Mummy look like a panda. "Panda, Mummy!" Safi would shout, jumping up and down when Mummy came downstairs for a drink. Mummy juice is what Mummy called it, but I know it's called coffee because I'm good at reading and writing, and Miss Farr at school says I'm the best in the class. Coffee tastes yucky, but I like the smell because it does because it makes me think of Mummy. Nana would always look at Mummy funny, her eyes gone all slitty and her mouth screwed up really little, like this. But she never said nothing. When Louie came down the stairs, it was like an elephant. Nana always looked at him funny too, the same face she made when I stood on dog poo in my trainers once and walked it on her carpet. Louie would always wind us up, like he would snatch a donut out of our hands and ruffle our hairs like he was joking, but he never gave the stuff back that he took. On that day, Safi was really happy because Mummy had got panda eyes again. She danced around and around and around and around and around and around and around the kitchen singing a song about Panda Mummy having her mummy juice. When Louie laughed, it sounded like he had a bad cough, like this. Like Jimmy Morgan in my class gets after PE when he has the asthma. He did that laugh and said, "Mummy had plenty of mummy juice last night and loads of daddy juice." He did that laugh again, but I don't think his joke was funny, or maybe Mummy and Nana didn't get it because no one laughed. Louie wasn't our real daddy. And we didn't have to call him it either, but he told us off like he was our real daddy, which wasn't fair if he wasn't. Me and Safi were told to go and play in the garden by Mummy because Nana had started shouting at Louie because of his joke that wasn't funny. It was cold outside and all the ground was wet. Outside we could hear all the shouting. It was very loud. I held Safi's hand because she didn't like the shouting. It made her cry and put her hands over her ears. Because it was fireworks 3 weeks before, I talked to her about fireworks and bonfire night and how we would get sparklies and hot dogs and toffee apples and sweets next year when Mummy took us, and how we would have to wrap up warm because in the autumn it gets colder and colder and colder, and when you do fireworks it's at night time, so it's even colder. Cheered her right up, that did, talking about fireworks. And we talked about Christmas coming and what things we wanted. We chased each other around and around and around and around and around the garden, pretending we was fireworks for ages, until I needed a wee. Then we went back in the house. The kitchen was a right mess when we came in. The table was on the floor and there was washing up all over the floor, everywhere. Some of it was broken. I told Safi not to touch it because broken stuff could give you a poorly, and she'd probably get told off if she got a poorly. I called Mummy, but she didn't answer. The door to the base thingy under the kitchen was opened. No one was allowed to go down there, or they'd be in for it. That's what Louie said. He said it was his man cave. But I remember when I was really little and before Safi was born, Mummy used to have the washing machine and tumble dryer down there. And it wasn't a cave, just a dark, dusty room full of boxes and tools. Caves were all dark and drippy and spiky, and trolls lived in them. There wasn't any trolls down there when I went down there that time. But when Louie came to live with us, it was then called his man cave. He sometimes had his friend Steve round to play, and they'd go down and play loud music and drink beer. Beer is also yucky. Once I tried some of Louie's beer he had in a can, which said special brew, and it made me pull a face like this and go yuck. Louie saw me do it, and I thought I was going to be in for it, but he did that laugh of his and then told me to drink it all. I cried because it tasted yuck, but he did his angry face like this and told me he'd turn me into a panda too if I didn't. So I drank it all, and as soon as I drank it I puked everywhere, all over the floor. It was brown with Rice Krispies in it. Louie laughed, and then Frankie came in from digging outside and started to lick the floor, which was really, really, really yucky. Frankie is my best dog, and I tried to stop him, but slipped on the sick and fell on my bottom. It made me cry some more. But when Frankie had licked all my puke up, he licked my cry away too. I love Frankie. Every time Louie went near Frankie, he used to woof and make a thunder noise in his throat like this. Didn't cough though. Once, after Louie came to live, he kicked Frankie in the tummy for knocking over one of his beers. He didn't do that on purpose, because dogs don't do things like that on purpose. When we walked to the man cave door, Louie came out quickly, like he was running. Louie couldn't run. He was big and fat. Once, him and Mummy took us to the park, and me and Safi ran after the ice cream van as it was getting late, and he tried to catch up with us, but he couldn't. His big tummy was wobbling all over the place. It was funny, like Daddy Pig in Pepper. But he shouted at us for running off, and then Mummy, who said, "Don't you shout at my children." And then, when the ice cream man leant out of the window to ask us what we would like, Louie said, "Go away, you dirty git." I don't know why he said those words. He didn't look dirty. He seemed like a nice, friendly man, not dirty or smelly at all. And the other words must have been nasty, as Louie's face went all red. And when he shouted, the nice ice cream man looked like he was going to be crying. Safi cried when the van drove off. I just felt upset. We did as we was told, because we had to be extra good when Mummy was out, or Louie might lose his rag. I'd never seen him with it, so I don't know how he could lose it. I saw Nanny's wheelie bag and thought, "Blige me, why ain't she taking it to the shops? She always took it to the shops." Then I remembered it was Sunday, and how Mummy told us the shops shut early on Sundays because of God, and thought maybe they would be back soon, and had just gone out to get one thing. We played upstairs for ages and ages until it got dark, and Louie shouted at us to come down. Mummy and Nana still weren't back, and Louie had tidied up all the mess in the kitchen and got the red plates out that we had Christmas dinner on. Nana's meat she'd put in the oven was on the table, but instead of all the gravy and vegetables that we had to eat, or no pudding, there was just meat and a pack of bread. Louie cutted the meat up all messy, and not how Nana does it, and made us all red sauce and meat sandwiches. Me and Safi couldn't eat our sandwiches because the meat was too hard and hurt our teeth. It was always nice when Nana made it with gravy and roasted potatoes, though. Louie shouted at us and said we would eat it or starve. I didn't know what starve meant, but we'd been learning about opposites at school with Miss Farr, and I thought that if starve was an opposite to eat, it meant we would be hungry. I was clever though, because I took the meat out of the sandwiches and gave it to Frankie when Louie went to the fridge. Louie caught me though and kicked his foot up Frankie's bum, and he made a squeaky noise and ran upstairs. Louie growled in my face, but talked at the same time and said, "Eat your fucking dinner." We had red sauce sandwiches.